Hello everybody, welcome back. We're really making progress with this Timmy Folio-ish journal. This side is complete, yes, and that's the bigger side. This side is not quite so complex. When I look at this, one thing stands out to me that's really irritating the life out of me, and it's this green cord that I've used. I should never have used it. It was a mistake. I like this because I just love that cord. Jania sent it to me. It's gorgeous, and it's perfect for the job. But throughout this section, I've used this red and white butcher's twine, this stuff, which is lovely. But I need the red and white there, and it's stuck down underneath the thing. So I'm going to ask Mr. F nicely if in between all his cleaning and clearing and carted to the tip, if he can wiggle that out for me and stick a bit of this in it. That would be great. But today I thought we'd concentrate on the little journal in the middle, and then that's something else done, and then we really only have that to do. So I put, let me just write that down as well, I put 10 sheets of paper in my other one, and I think it's fine. It seems to work all right, and it's big enough, I think. So there you have it. I used 10 sheets of paper. The maximum size for this, if you've followed all my when I made the cover, the maximum size is 10.5 inches that way. So your paper wants to be 10.5 and no more than 8 inches tall. So it's 10.5 max and 8 inches tall max. Okay, so let's see what I've got, what I can put in it. I really want it to be lovely, 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 lovely. So I have this. I have been hoarding this. I don't know how long ago it was that Karen sent it to me, but oh dear, Catkin, what's the matter? What's the matter, Catkin? Oh dear. It'll be all right. It'll be okay. It doesn't. He was out all night was the problem, so he's really tired today. And everywhere he decides to go sleep, we need to get to it, so he can't get any peace to get a good sleep. If he'd only have the common sense to go onto our bed, he'd never be disturbed all day. But he's been at the top of the stairs. He's been at the door to the back bedroom. He's been on Mr. F's chair, my chair, anywhere he goes. He's got, can I remind you, he has 3 different beds in this room alone. One of which was Bobby's, one was bought for him, and another one was Bobby's for in the car. And they're just all shoved here for the time being. So he's got 3 beds here, but they obviously are not good enough for him. Anyway, that's neither here nor there, is it really? So that's that sheet from Karen, which is, look at it, it's beautiful. And then Linda Park sent me this. And this is so beautiful. It's by a company called Triple V Vintage, and this particular pack is called Ode to Timmy. So she's on Etsy, and it's called Triple V Vintage. So I would, and it smells, oh my goodness. Oh, it smells beautiful. So let's have a look through this, because if ever we're going to use any, this is the project to use it in. Oh, I mean, look at it. Oh my goodness me. Oh, it's just beautiful. I love I love that. I love every piece of this. Isn't that fabulous? Wow. Look at that. Oh my goodness. Okay. Which piece am I going to choose? Loving the numbers. Loving them. I love that one. I love them all, okay? So, yeah, I love them all. Really like that music one as well. Actually, oops, upside down. The clocks and that one. I think I'll use that one. The simple matter is it's on the top. That's all. I love them all equally. I mean, I absolutely adore them. So that's that decision made. And I think I can only spare one sheet because I value them so highly. They will have their own drawer when I've got my own posh and swanky new studio. Posh and swanky. Right, so if my maximum is 10.5 max, then I need to cut that off to 10.5. Which side? I might do it down that side actually, and this as well, but I might need to, because I'd quite like that to be the centre. So if 10.5 is my max, that means 5.25 is my centre. Let's just remove that a second. I've got cables everywhere as well. So 5.25, 3, 4, 5.25. Is that right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, wrong. So let's just bring that up a little bit. 5.25. There we go. And get this straight. Oh my goodness, I'm making a mountain out of this. 5.25 and 5.25. And I want the centre in the centre, which it is. So that's great. So I just want to trim equal bit off that, and then that can be our centre fold out. So if I get that at 5.25, all will be well. I really am making a mountain out of this. It's ridiculous. That's halfway. There's 5.25. Right. Let's cut that out. Lovely. So now I need to measure 10.5. I'm sure you've got a much better way of doing this. My defence is I'm distracted. What did I say? 10.5 max. So I'm going to make it 10.5. There we go. So that, I think, is that. And when you fold that over, that should be in the centre. That's the plan anyway. This one is a bit easier because I'm just going to take all of it off that edge. So 10.5. I keep checking because I'd rather check because I do not want to waste this paper. There we go. So that's that. So I've got two glorious sheets. Now let's put those in the bin and let's have a look at what other papers. Oops, left his leg out. Let's have a look what other papers I've got. I've got that one, but it's already been nibbled at. But I have this one. What that's doing in there, it's no reason. That one, that's nice. These are too small. I've got a piece of that lovely coffee stained paper that Janya sent me. How much does that measure? Measures 9. That should be alright. I'll keep that. Let's see what else we've got. We've got envelopes. What do they measure? Yeah, they measure 9, nearly 9.5. So they would fit in. They would fit in as pockets, yeah. Envelopes, CD, covers, index cards. Oh, didn't know I had this. A piece of Keong's fancy paper. Yeah, that's going in. I don't think there's a heck of a lot more in here, to be honest. Let's have a look and see. Oh my goodness, Mr. F's just come downstairs from the, what we euphemistically call the back bedroom, with boxes and boxes. How many is there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 boxes full of lace. I hate to say it, I'm sorry to say it. And there's just a sheet of plain coffee stained paper. I've lost count now, so I'll lay out another one of those. Oh no, it's not, it's lined. Perfect. See how many we've got, shall we? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I just need one more of something. Oh no, I've got it already. It's Keong's beautiful paper. That's it. I hope you guys know that when you send me things, like your coffee stained paper and stuff like that, that I do really treasure it. I'm talking specifically here to Janya and Keong. I really do treasure the things that you've made. And as far as Linda goes, for sending me things, well, yes, I just love the things you send me. Thank you very much indeed. So I want this to be 10.5. Oh, I haven't trimmed off the height. Well, I can do that at the end. 10.5. My journal's on my way. So that's that one. What does this one measure? A little over 10.5. I'm going to keep those, I quite like them. Say subject and date. So it's like a student's notebook. This is a Mr. F special. So let's get that to 10.5. Once we get ensconced in our new home, we need to do some more coffee staining, to be honest. I'm just going to cut that down in half because it's folded like that. It's beautiful, isn't it? So I'm just going to run that down there. So I've now got 2 sheets. Let's see what they measure. Well, they don't measure 10.5, so that's all right. I can use both of those. This one. These are the ones I've done. I'm going back through the ones I've already done. What a silly banana. Ten and a half. Nope, doesn't measure 10.5. We're all right. That one we know doesn't. This one. Let's see what it measures. Not quite 10.5, so we're all right there. And those ones we've already cut. Right. So they will need the height trimming off them, but that's okay. So this is going to be my cover. Let's have a look and see what it looks like. It's just gorgeous, isn't it? It's absolutely gorgeous. So yeah, right, let's fold all of these in half then and see where we get to. This one looks like it's going to be need a bit of persuasion, I think. Let's just get my ruler. Let's press that bit down. Oh my goodness me. Let's see if I can get it over to there, then I can kind of try and flatten it out. It's an awkward one. Don't be awkward all your life. You're so beautiful. There we go. So that's that. What a beginning and end to our little journal. Beautiful. So next, let's go for a piece of Keown's. It's also gorgeous, isn't it? Oh, that's interesting. Which is the most? I'm going to use a plain piece, and then I don't have to decide which side to use. So I'll just use this. Fold it over. You don't have to fold them all in half. You know, you could have one that's only got a small piece there and it's flipped over on the other side. So I think I'll do that with this gorgeous piece of Keown's. I shall leave a small bit there and fold this over a little bit, just to give us a little bit of a tuck on this side. So that's there. And I don't want to fold it in half, just want a small piece there. So when that's in the journal, it'll be like that. So you'll have a part piece there, and then when you come to it, it's all alive today, you'll have a little tuck spot there. So that'll be fine. Okay. Let's do some of this lined paper, and the lines are going to be going up and down, they're not going to be horizontal. That bothers me not a jot. The envelope. Now I'm going to stick this down and then I'm going to trim the top off, which I know sounds a bit bizarre, but it'll be fine. I left this hours ago. But there you go, you just wipe the little bogeyman off the end of its nozzle, and there we go, it's working perfectly again. So there we are, we'll stick that down. There we go, and I'm just going to trim that top edge so as we've got pockets. Or do I want pockets? Do I? I don't know. Let's do it anyway. So it's just a little sliver off the top. And it's kind of not straight, this envelope, which you would, you'd expect when it's been coffee stained. They do go off a bit. Let's just check that that's, yeah, look at that, perfect. Perfectly perfect. Let's pop that away again. Need a little bit more glue in there. Look at the nozzle this has and the reach. It's just fabulous. There we go. Lovely. So I'm going to fold that in half, and that'll be a pocket on the front and the back, in case anybody wants to put anything in it. I'll tell you what, before I fold that, I think I might just put some washi tape. Let me just grab my washies. I think things falling around. Which washi? Well, that one I'm not. That was a Creative Studio one. I'm not that awfully keen on it. So I just want to get it really inside there, just to strengthen it a little bit. It's going to be mighty awkward to do, I feel, but I'll give it a go. Come on. There we are, right up into that corner. Just give a bit of support to this because it's quite thin paper. Well, I should have deconstructed it a bit more, I think, because this is not easy. But we're getting there, we're getting there, we're getting there. That's a bit lumpy bumpy, that bit. Oh, it's just come off, that's good. Way, good catch. Oh, then I dropped it. Oh well. That's life. Right, so there we are. I've kind of gone along there. It's going to need a bit of trimmage, but that's okay. You could, I've just thought you could put it on the outside. Wouldn't that have been a whole lot easier? Yeah, it would. What's wrong with your noddle today? I don't know, I'm thinking about other things. Okay. Yeah, I'm talking to myself. I'm having conversations with myself. There's nobody else here to talk to. Is the cat here? No, not even the cat. So I can't say that I'm talking to him. So it's all down to you guys. Hope you're listening. Right, I'm going to put some washi tape on the outside of that. I quite like that one. Yeah, that looks very similar to the memoranda paper. Yeah, so that'll do me. So let's just put that there as a strengthener. Oh, that looks nice actually, doesn't it? So one side, maybe this side, has got a piece of washi inside and out. But that's all right. Yeah, this is definitely that paper that we're using, the memoranda. I recognise it. There we go. I'm just going to... No, I can't. I've stuck the two ends together. I was going to say I'm just going to wrap one round to the back, but I can't. I've stuck them together. There we go. I think that looks all right. It's a reasonable workaround, I would say. So let's fold that in half now that we've done that. There we go. Lovely. That's nice. That's really nice. Let's just put that over there out the way. This is my centre. So that's how the centre's going to look. And I don't think that's going to need anything more than that. It's just splendid. Absolutely splendid. This is... I think she said she used tracing paper, but it's just lovely. It's taken the stain really quite nicely. I like it. Oh, just look at that one. Let's fold that over. And this one. Now, this is quite a scrappy journal. You know, I mean, I say scraps. None of these papers I'm using do I think of in any way as being scraps. They're all absolutely fantastic for me. But they will look a little bit scrappy when they are all together. So what have I got so far? I've got this one and this one. Now this one wants to be quite near the front because, yeah, I've made a boo-boo there actually, to be honest. I need to fold this in a bit more. So I might have to put washi down there as well to hide my boo-boo. There we go. So I've got that fold there. So you know what I'm going to do, don't you? I'm going to get that washi out again and go down where that fold is. So that should get me out of a mess. So just in a little bit from the edge. See, there's always solutions. There's always workarounds, guys. You know, never get so frustrated that you chuck it in the bin. It's there's always something can be done, and as I'm very fond of saying, there's always gesso. If things go horribly wrong, just gesso it. There we go. So that looks nice down there, actually, doesn't it? Yeah, and you would never know that I'd made a bit of a blunder of it. So my outer cover is this one. Then I'm going to have a plain one. Then this one. Then this one. Then the envelope. Then one of these. And to be honest, I'm just putting them in an order that I think they look quite nice. Then the tracing paper. Then I'm left with two of these, so I'm going to have to put one somewhere else. Could put it there so that you see that sort of first up. Yeah, that's nice. And then this is my centre, which is going to go there. So when you're at the middle of the journal, that's what you'll see. Ooh, ooh, ooh. This may possibly be the prettiest little journal ever, and yet it's just the easiest. Right, so we've got those all in there. They're all pushed right in, as far as we can get them, into that V. And then we're going to tidy it all up. So I need a cutting board. And a, whatchamacallit, rotary cutter. Is that the right one? Yeah, I think so. And I want to cut this to 5 1/4. So I've only got, this is the only quilting ruler I have to hand, and it's not quite long enough, but we'll make it work. Just make sure they're all tucked in tightly. And then we want 5 1/4, which that front cover is exactly. So we've done our job. So I'm just going to cut these down here. And then move this up. This isn't ideal. Ideally you would have a longer quilting ruler, but I haven't, so let's live with it. And a rotary cutter is great for this, I think. But I am very partial to a rotary cutter at the best of times. I think you get really accurate cuts with it. It's what I always used to use before I sold out to the Timmy trimmer. So that's it. So just going up and down until you've got all of those pages at 5 1/4. There might be some little bits to just tidy up, but not much, I don't think. There we go. Oh, I'm going to have to ask Mr. F if he's got a longer ruler than that, because I need to measure this at 8 inches. Mr. F, my dear.
Yes?
Have you got a longer quilting ruler than 6.5 inches?
I've got many a thing that's bigger than that.
Excellent. Oh. Oh, okay.
Too big?
Well, I'd like one smaller than 18 inches square. That'll do, that's fine. Thank you. So this needs to be at, what did I say, 8 inches. And what does it measure? It actually measures at the moment 8.5. Oh, that's not too bad. I thought it was going to be way tall. Way tall. So, I don't know if I want it off the top or the bottom really. Maybe the bottom. So once again, just make sure you've got all that in there. And I'm going to cut it off the bottom. And I want this to be 8 inches. So I'm going to square it up with my 8-inch line. Square that up there with the front edge. That's the thing I love about quilting rulers. You've always got 2 points of reference. You've got this line here and this line here, so you can really square things up. And it's just much better than a trimmer, to be honest. So I'm just going to pass this rotary cutter a few times. I'm not really putting that much pressure on it each time, just going through. See what I've got. Oh, I've just got one more to go. There we go. And it's as effortless as that. It's a really, you know, if you haven't bought some sort of trimming system, I'd seriously consider that actually. So there we go. There's our little journal. How gorgeous is that? It's pretty gorgeous. Right, so now if I can reach my ooh, the lid came off my papers. Reach my sewing drawer. Put that on the floor, then it can't fall any further, can it? And I want my filthy dirty piece of yoga mat, but it doesn't matter. It'll do the job. And I need some little clips as well. And I'm sure you all know how to do this, but I'm going to show you anyway. I just want 2 clips, because so many people in the comments say, you know, thank you for showing us how to do X, Y or Z. And I did promise when I started this journal that I would show you everything that I did to it. And so far, despite moving, despite clearing things out, I have held fast to my promise. So I'm going to show you how I do this as well. So you clip that there, making sure that everything's right into that V there. And then put a clip on just up from there. Once again, make sure everything is right into that V, and put a clip on the other side. I think you call it Katie cornered, something like that. I'm not altogether sure that's right. Just make sure it's really pushed in. Really into there. Let's have a look. It's just not, that top one is not. It's not going in. I don't know why. Well, that's it, it's in there. Let's put our clip there. And then on this one, make sure it's right in. That's it, right in there. And clip that one. So there you are, you've got a clip either side, opposite sides, and then all we have to do is stitch it together. And what I use for this is crochet cotton. I think it's called cotton perlé actually. I'm not sure what number it is. I did actually go looking for some in Hobbycraft, but I don't know, I was looking in the wrong place, I think, something like that. So you take off a fair bit. People say 3.5 times the height. I honestly couldn't tell you. I just take off a fair whack and go from there. Now I've got the needle stuck. Right, so I'm going to thread my needle, then I'm going to... So I've got that ready for the off. There. And I'm going to get my pokey tool. I've got 2 pokey tools. One is a very thin one, and this one, as it goes up the shaft, it gets thicker. So I'm going to use the one that goes more thick, and I'm going to start in the centre. So hold your book over like that and push through all the layers, so it'll come out there. And if you do that, it'll always come out right on the edge. And then another one about 3/4 of an inch up from the bottom, like that, 3/4 of an inch down from the top, like that. Right, so we've got 3 holes now, but I'm going to make 5 holes. So I want to go in between the middle hole and the bottom hole, halfway between. You don't have to measure it, it'll be fine. Just go by eye and push that through. And then the same halfway between the centre and the top hole, which is about there, I think. And that's our holes made. So now I'm going to start by pushing the needle through from the middle of the journal out to the outside of the book. And I'm just going to, here's my cord, I'm just going to ease that clip ever so little and catch that cord in it so it doesn't pull through, because that's just a nuisance if it does that. So there we go. And then I'm going to go in the next hole down in there, and if you hold your book closed, it will always come out of, you know, in the hole that you've made. So now the bottom one, so I'm putting my needle there, I'm shutting my book up, and that's coming out of there. Lovely. And then we're going to go back into the second bottom one, like that. And then we're going to skip the middle hole. We're not going to go into that middle hole. We're going to go into the next hole up. Not the middle, but the next one up. So put your needle in, fold your book over, and it will come flying out. And then into the top hole there. But if you always hold your book closed, says she, that just didn't work, it will generally, but not on this occasion, come through. Why is it when you're videoing things, they always go wonky? I just don't know. But if you get a problem like that you can't find your needle, take your needle and push it through. I've lost my hole now, there we are. And then rethread it. So it doesn't have to be a dilemma. It's just a bit of a nuisance, but it's not a drama. Well, it shouldn't be a drama. There we go. Right, so now my needle is already here, so I can just pull that through. So there we are, that's that. And then down into the next hole down, which is that one. And then through and into the middle. So there we are. Pretty painless, really. And the only thing to look out for is your long middle stitch, this stitch here. You want one end on one side of it and one end on the other, like that. So your middle stitch is in between those two ends. And then You can get rid of your needle just in case you stab yourself with it. Then we just need to, you can unclip that one now and hold your thread ends tight and see if you need to tighten these up. You're looking for that sound. Can you hear it? Like tight, like a guitar string. If yours isn't tight like that, then follow it through. I'm trying to split these ends now and I can't. Come on, that's it. Then follow your thread through. This was the short end, so it was the end that was clipped. So you can just follow it all the way and tighten up as you go. Same with that one. You don't want to tear your paper though. That's one thing you don't want to do. So when you think you've got it tight, just hold them there and just check. Yeah, that's lovely. Happy with that. So then I'm just going to knot mine just right over left, left over right, over that central long stitch. Like so. And then you can leave your ends. You can put things on them if you want to, beads or just little pieces of paper, bits of ephemera, whatever. I tend not to do anything like that. I don't know why, I just don't. So I just trim my ends off. And that is a 5-hole pamphlet stitch. So it really is easy. When you look at it like that, you can see these big holes and they're not particularly attractive. So just take your bone folder, rub it up the spine, and that'll get rid of most of it. You know, you'll still see there's a hole there, but really gets rid of most of it. There we go. So that's our journal. Isn't it absolutely gorgeous? Yes. Oh, there she goes, talking to herself again. So let's just check that's the right height. It's perfect, yes, 8 inches is perfect. Now it's up to you. You can ink round all these if you want to. I don't think it's necessary, really. I'm just checking that everything's okay. Look at that for a centre spread. Hoo-hoo. Yeah, that's looking good to me. What you can do before you call it a day is just sort of go through it and just make sure that the page is lie flat. This is a very, very, very pretty little journal. I love it. And there's loads and loads of journaling in it. So it's what's called a writing journal because basically that's all you can do in it. It's not a decorative one. We've got all the decoration on the flippy flappy sections. We just needed to provide some journaling space, which this does, and very beautifully. So there we are, that's kind of opened that up and it's more of a journal. So let's put that into our flippy floppy folio-ish journal. So I did allow plenty of string here. If you're just joining me and you don't know how I've done this string and this spine, there is a video on it. So that just fits in there perfectly between those eyelets, which is what I was hoping for. And look at that twine, doesn't it look fabulous? I'll hold it up when I've tied it, but it really is the most perfect twine for this. It's glorious. So I want that to there. Oh, I might have to borrow Mr. F's finger. I'm rubbish at tying these. Mr. F?
Yeah.
Could I borrow one of your fingers, please?
Good one or a wonky one?
A good one would be excellent.
I'll probably do the job.
Oh, that's a mighty good finger, yeah. Okay. There we go. So I think the ends are just a wee bit long. So I'll just trim those a little bit. And should you finish this journal, or should you wish to take it away and leave the rest of it behind, you just untie that and you take it away with you. And there's our journal in there. How stinking gorgeous is that? And that's the back side. Equally just stunning. And let's have a look at the centre. Look at that. Oh my goodness me. I love it. Right, so that's it for today. Today I just wanted to show you how to make that journal, give you some measurements, etc, etc. So off you go and coffee stain yourself some paper, or use what you've got. You might choose just to use ordinary white copier paper. And if that's what you do decide and you like it, that's fine. You're not doing this to please me or to please anybody else. You're just doing it so as you are proud of it. So when we close that, yeah, you can see we're starting to get a bit of a problem here. Yeah, it wants to be like that. So we're going to have to keep, well, I did keep with the first bit, the decoration down to a minimum. But with this bit, we're going to have to, you know, pare it down. So there we are. I'll leave that closed all night and it'll settle itself down. So when you join me again, we will be doing this section. And in the interim, I'm going to sweet talk Mr. F into seeing if he can change that to some red twine, which would be excellent. So, see you soon, guys. Nearly there. We're on the homeward stretch now. Thanks for watching. Bye.